What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. I am going to go over a very highly asked question ever since I started filming my hunts and everything. It's how to solo film your hunts, or just how to film your hunts in general. And I've had a lot of gear changes over the years, and recently I've changed some gear. So I thought it'd be a really good idea just to kind of run through just my complete setup, what I do literally when I get up in a tree if I'm solo filming, take my gear out, how I have it packed up and everything. It's kind of a crappy day, so we're filming some videos today. It's raining, it's super windy, it's like an east wind, so we're not hunting today, we're just filming videos. So what we're gonna do is, we have this tree right here, we're gonna get in it like exactly as if I was hunting. But I wanted to go over just real quick. I've been running this new backpack. It's an Everly stock. I do not know what kind it is. Can't find like a style or whatever on it, but this super small backpack. And why I've been running it small like this is because when I'm like hunting at home, I have most of my spots already prepped. The only thing I need to bring into the stand is like literally camera gear, some snacks and whatnot. So keeping it super simple, small, like a small footprint, I think is super important, especially with filming, and there's just so much going on. So let's, or first thing I do, put my saddle on. I'm not really going to talk about like saddle and saddle hunting in general. I've done other videos on that, but I have been hunting and filming out of a saddle a lot lately. Pretty much that's all I've been doing. It's really nice. It's also really nice too, like if Mitchell's filming with me, to be in a saddle also. Even if you have like the hunter in a tree stand and then the cameraman in a saddle, because you're like facing each other. It's super nice. So not gonna talk a whole lot about it, but it is out of a saddle. And everything I talk about, it'll just be like reversed on a tree stand, if that makes sense. So what I like to do, so I kind of already have it all set up. Oh, there's an airplane, hold on. What I like to do is I put my backpack on this right side, and I'll grab my bow, and I'll hang my bow on the left side. Let's get my tethered rope out. And when I'm all finished setting all this up, this is literally gonna be how I set everything up in the tree. Get that set up. And there we go. So this is my legit setup. If I got up in the tree, a lot of times what I'll do, like all of like a permission property or any sort of private property that I have time to prep, what I've been doing is putting sticks up, and then I'll walk out with my platform. So I'll have my platform strapped on here, get to the top stick, put my platform on, get up here, I'll install, I just got this like seat cushion, I wrap it around the tree so it gives your knees some added thing. I'll screw in this step, hang my backpack, screw in either just a hook or a longer like bow hook for my bow, and that's it. So first thing that I do is on this backpack, there's a little tiny little pocket up here which fits really good for this 4th Arrow camera arm mount. It packs away super nice and easily. I actually just picked this up like a week or two ago and have been using it, and I absolutely love it. I bought this, not sponsored or anything. I really have been loving this. So those little wings fold out so it doesn't tear up your backpack in storage. And what I'll do is I'll just set it right in my legs right there, wrap it around. Then it's just a standard ratchet strap. Feed it through. I know a lot of people are worried about sound and everything when you're bringing more equipment into the woods, but really, this setup really isn't too loud, and you can be pretty quiet with this ratchet strap. Just get it semi-snug, then you can kind of adjust it where you need it. And what I like to do is about like, you know, belly height is what I like to do when I'm in the kneeling position. So then you see over here too, if it's like super quiet in the morning or whatever, I'll be really, really cautious about this. But if it's windy and stuff, I mean, they really can't hear these little clicks. But to be really quiet, I just kind of put my finger in there, pull this clip back, and then push, set it down, pull that clip, push, And I just do that over and over again, and you're making very, very little noise. I'll just ratchet the rest of it for time, but you can go really easy on that and be very quiet. So that whole system, you're making no noise. Such a small footprint also, like in your bag. Got some snacks in there, of course, some other things. So we open up the main part, and I layer my backpack so I pull it out as I need it and as I'm setting up my stand. It's all about efficiencies and getting set up as quickly as possible. So next is my camera arm. Pull that out of that bag right there. I'll slide it in. It's pretty close to level, but if it was way off, I would have to do this before putting it in. So we'll just loosen that, get it level. It's about good like that. Tighten it down. And then up next is my camera. This is going to be, I'm going to go over some of the techie stuff in this also. So I'm running a A7S III with a 24 to 240. So this lens is actually a really good lens for solo filming, just filming hunts in general, because you get everything. You get the selfie mode stuff, and then you zoom in at a deer 100 yards away. You do lose a little bit quality, like with the f-stop and everything, but overall performance of a lens, it works really, really good. Instead of like changing lenses out from a zoom to whatever. But as you guys know, if you watch the channel, we really try to bring good quality stuff. So this A7S III really does that. And I really like this flippy lens, or flippy display out, so I can spin it around, do selfie mode. That's super important to make sure everything's good. I was running the A7 III that didn't have that. It was just stagnant like this. So whenever I flipped it around, I was just hoping that it was on. So I really like that. Then I also have the battery grip. It's not super necessary at all, but I like to not worry about batteries at all. So I just run it in and just run it. And then we got 2 SD cards. We are running this CF Express Type A cards. If you're really techie, the SD cards, we used the recommended ones, but we kept getting weird issues. Mitch and I kept getting weird issues, so we had to go to those. So if you're getting an A7S III anytime soon, I would recommend that. That's pretty much it for this. We put this right in. This camera arm is all like you bought together. This head is separate. I've had it for a long time. It's a Manfrotto 128 RC. Works well. It's kind of a lighter one, but can still like handle the weight, I guess. We even ran the FX6 and stuff on this head, and you just kind of manually loosen this as you need it, which is so-so, but it does good for how small it is. And then I always take my mic off because I've broken a lot of these and broken a lot of audio jack ports, so I always take it off when I store it away now. And it's just this is like 60 bucks on Amazon. It is the Rode Video Mic Go. Works really well, and if I break one, we can just snag another one, and it's not a $250 mic. So you break a lot of stuff by like using it so much and taking it in and out of backpacks. So that's set up, and obviously right when I get up in the tree, I like to get the camera set up, bring my bow up, and I'm ready to basically shoot a deer and film it in case I need to. And then I can do the rest of the setup stuff, whatever it may be, trim branches, do whatever. Also I do always, in my saddle, the saddle axe has a little bit of extra storage. I always run I got a bow rope in here. I have a tree saw, if I can get it out. I have a tree saw. Oh, that's what tree saw. That's always super important. Okay, I have a headlamp in there, extra bow hooks, whatever. So these extra cargo pockets actually are really, really nice. Okay, so next up, what I do is I have this bow hook hanger that I attach my second camera angle to. So I'll take this out. I always like to put it right up in here. We had to pre-drill, or not pre-drill, but pre-screw this in, because this is an oak tree. So I put that in just about as far as I can reach if I was sitting down. Get that about level. Then I picked up on Amazon this cheap clamp video tripod dealio. It's like 20 bucks. It's actually worked pretty well. What I will do probably is put it right on here. Every tree and every situation seems like it's always a little different. But basically you loosen this little knob, and you can spin this bad boy whatever you want, which is kind of nice. And then in the bottom of the backpack, I have this guy, which was my old primary, A7 III, and I have a 24-105 on it right now. I really would like to upgrade to a wider angle lens. I just haven't done that yet, but 24 does get the job done. Pretty standard. And a tip for that, I always run this in like auto exposure if I have it up here, because I never really know, like if it's running for a long time, it just auto does everything. So we screw that right in. I'll loosen it back up and get it pretty much right where I want it. And I don't run a mic on here. The in-body microphone is good enough, and a lot of times when I run that, I'm running this guy also, so we can sync up audio from this one mic. And that's it. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to film. And like I was saying, I like to set this up on the right side. I like to set this secondary camera on the right side, because a lot of times this quadrant is your least likely to shoot something in quadrant. I made a video before, like set up all your shots in the 4 quadrants, and it's like this first quadrant is #1 priority, then your second, and then your third, and then this is kind of last. This is kind of the hardest to shoot. You got to stand up, spin around, do something weird. So I put the cameras there and my backpack, so I don't really have to worry about it. So now, just to kind of show you like the full range of this camera arm, really glad I upgraded to it. Let's move this a little bit. Because if I'm in the sitting down position, I can literally move all the way around the tree with it. So if my main shots are all over here, when I'm just sitting, you know, hunting, waiting, a lot of times I'll set the camera up just like this. So all my shots I can get right over here. And then obviously if I got to go over here, just film something over there, swivel around. So this has been really awesome. And I'll show you what I've been using, which does work good. It's just a beast. This works really good. This whole system works really good. That came unclipped. And then as far as my second angle, I always put it about at that height. So literally all I have to do, reach up, turn that on. And I always try to do that if, like, say I see a buck chasing a doe around, or I know like potentially a shot's gonna happen, I just turn that guy on and let it run. I always make sure batteries and cards are cleared on it, so I can just let it run for a long time, and just kind of let it do its thing up there. But let's say, you know, an instance where I'm like ready to go, I pretty much zoom in just a touch. When you're solo filming, it's so hard, especially with the DSLR. If I was running like a regular video camera and had a little toggle switch up here, it'd be a little different. But I always just zoom in a little bit, and then I just rock and roll with it. If I'm like getting ready to shoot one, I just go like that. Autofocus, everything like that. You really can't do a lot of crazy stuff when you're solo filming. It's all about simplicity, efficiency, all the way through the setup, tear down, everything. You want it to be super simple, because basically you're trying to shoot the deer, but you're also trying to shoot the deer with the camera. So you gotta shoot the deer twice, which isn't really awesome. It is awesome when it works, but it can be also very frustrating. So that's about it. That is my full setup. What I'll show you now is this other camera arm. This is what I have been using. It's a Muddy Pro arm. It's really awesome, but it is a big beast. You can see this is the mount compared to the 4th Arrow one. And this isn't like to bash brands or anything. Like, this is awesome. If like Mitch is coming to film with the big FX6 or something, we'll probably still use this. This camera arm is also big, which is very nice because it has a lot of like flexibility. Like, look how far out you can get and everything. But as far as solo filming, it's super important to have something small, light, and still super functional and everything. So that is pretty much my setup. And as I'm going over this, I guess it's also super important, like if you're a beginner getting into filming, you don't need all this expensive stuff. Like, I've worked up to all this stuff. When I started out, I used to use a little, like this bow hook thing. You screw it in and there's the little tripod on the end of it. Like, everyone has their own level of entry into it. And if you're just getting into it, you shouldn't jump into all this crazy stuff. It's very similar to archery. Like I say, like if you've never shot a bow or anything, you probably shouldn't be going and buying the best of everything, unless, you know, you just have unlimited resources, then that's one thing. But you always should like progress into things, and filming is no different. The most important part is to learn how to use everything. Like, you could film an awesome video with your iPhone and this little tiny swivel mount and get the shot on film and do the intro and all the important parts and make an epic video, or do this and don't get the shot on film and don't do an intro and don't do an outro, but you have this fancy thing but you got no video behind it. So it's, the skills are always what is trumps the equipment and everything, and that goes with archery equipment, filming equipment, everything. So yes, this is a very expensive fancy camera. So is that, so is this, but this is my setup. I wanted to go through it, and like I said, we've worked up to it, and you know, this is our business now, filming hunts and everything. So this is the deal. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it answers some questions. I'm sure it caused some questions, so if you have any, drop them in the comments below. I'll make an effort to go through them in this video for sure. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.